Okay, good morning, Sarah. First up, the big question that everyone's been asking, where are we?
Okay, good morning. I'm not sure if you'll be able to guess where we are right now. Show the map. Dun, 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 dun. Good morning from Damascus in Syria. So this is a bit of an interruption for our other videos because in our video series we're still in the Arab Middle East, like in the Gulf countries, but
We've just made it to Dubai, haven't we, in our videos?
we've just made it to Dubai in our videos, but we're going to interrupt that series before we start on all our videos from Iran. We just wanted to do a bit of an update because being here in Syria with the kids as a family has been like, we've had the most incredible time. It's been a time of like reflecting on why are we actually doing this, and people were asking us.
Yeah, we've actually had a couple of questions come in about like, why would you go there with your children and that sort of thing. So we just want to explain that we actually do a lot of research before we go to these places, and we don't go in sort of half blind to these countries. We know exactly what we're in for because we're taking our kids with us, and so it's important for us to be, first and foremost, to be safe. So we wouldn't take our kids anywhere we didn't feel safe. But
so it kind of came about, the question of it came about because we were wondering how we can actually share. We've seen so much here, we've seen so much of the culture. This is one of the like oldest continuously inhabited capital cities. I think it is the oldest continuously inhabited city.
So you're talking 7,000 years of history here, which is incredible. As far as world schooling goes, it doesn't get any better than that.
But the main thing is that we were wondering how can we actually share this, because traveling as a family, our channel is like a real travel channel. It's hard to portray, but we've also seen here like the incredible devastation and destruction from the war in the last 11 years, since 2011. But how do we actually show that? Because we don't want our channel to be a sort of political or geopolitical, any kind of channel like that.
That's right. We've been learning that stuff in the background. Like we go through and we do learn the sort of political side of things and why and what's happening and all that sort of thing. We see so much. But it's kind of not what we like to put out there, and it certainly doesn't make us feel in danger in any way, because the most important thing I think that we've seen from a lot of these countries, and particularly here in Syria, is how everyday life continues and everyday people in the country are just so happy for us to be here, and they're just so grateful that we're coming to their country. We hear it all the time.
So shall we start with some questions?
Yeah, so we'll start with some questions, some like frequently asked questions that we get.
Okay, get yourself ready.
Get myself
Okay, are you ready?
Right. Okay, so first most frequently asked question.
Or what will be.
When
we announce that we're here.
Yeah. What made us decide to come to Syria?
Okay, that's an easy one because my sister lives here with her family, so we've come to meet the family, spend time with them, and explore Syria together. So that for us is a really easy one and gave us the absolute motivation to come. So we've been looking forward to it for a long time, and here we are. All right, do you want to answer why are you traveling? Why are we traveling like this?
Why are we traveling? So
we're almost coming up to 4 years.
Yeah, we're almost coming up to 4 years now. We've had a couple of small breaks back in New Zealand of like a month. But for us, the main reason for us to travel was Sarah and I both found ourselves in great positions. Like we were working, we'd kind of made it to this, what we thought was the pinnacle of where we wanted to be in our lives, and we were doing well, we were successful, and I had this sort of like epiphany, I guess, one day. Called in to see Sarah, picked her up for lunch and said to her, you know what, I think I want to spend more time with the kids while they're at this age, because they're not going to be this age forever. They're growing up so fast. So we just wanted to give them 100% of our time.
And then we totally fall in love with the adventure, with meeting people and everything else, and kind of spirals on from there.
Yeah.
Like 1 year wasn't enough.
No.
And how can we keep going
That's
with that?
right, yeah. So that's been the plan ever since, is just trying to make what we've got an asset to work for us and be able to keep going, and because we love being a unit of 4. Like,
it's made us definitely a really tight unit. But also in some of the places, like the more we travel, how we choose our destinations, like they kind of unravel. Like we'll meet someone from there and they'll say, oh, you should visit. We'll be like, wow, that sounds like an amazing place. So a lot of it is spurred on by people that we meet.
Yep. And a lot of it is, we will probably go into a little bit soon, but we like to sort of go off the beaten track a little bit.
We love to go off the beaten track. We love places that are not for the main tourist trail. And that always inspires us, because there we often meet travellers and people doing a similar thing, or like everyone does
like
their own
proper
journey,
travellers.
Real travellers, and everyone has this incredible story, and we're like, wow.
And
that always re-inspires us to keep going to the next. So that's pretty much the why of why we're doing it.
Well, there's a lot more whys, but that's the simple
That'll be a why
version
for
of
this
why.
morning?
Yeah. Okay, next question. Schooling for the boys. So a lot of you probably don't realise, but Sarah is actually a teacher.
I feel like I'm reintroducing myself.
Yes, she's reintroducing herself. So Sarah's actually a fully qualified teacher. So tell us about schooling.
Okay, tell us about schooling. Well, the world is our classroom. What we're actually doing is world schooling, which we love, which is when we heard about this concept, we were like, that's exactly it. So literally the world is our classroom. There is no sort of rigid curriculum or anything like that. And it's something that you have to decide for yourself and find your kind of own pathway as a family. So for me as a teacher, I always feel like the most important things to like instill in children, as a teacher and as a mum, as a parent, is to instill like creativity, kindness and respect. And I feel like those kind of things we can't teach. Like in theory, we could always teach our kids mathematics, or we could teach them to read, but you can't teach creativity. You need to kind of foster that so that the child can learn their own creativity and expand their own creativity. So that is something that we love to see when we're travelling. But how it actually works in practice as we're going is that we do a lot of reading with our kids, we do journaling, we do they work out the change, all that kind of stuff. So the practical side of things, also just learning how to be able to introduce themselves to someone and how to make friends with someone really quickly, how to walk down the street safely, how to ask for something if they need help with something at the shop, or how to they change languages all the time to be able to,
and currencies.
They
become quite good with currencies.
They totally overtake us with currencies.
And I guess a big focus is on creating good human beings. Like Sarah said, we can always teach them maths and reading, which we do anyway. Like Sarah and I take on that role, and we teach them the maths and the reading, and they're both doing extremely well in all of those. But I find it hard, like we want to try and expose them to as many different cultures and religions as we possibly can. And just people as we possibly can.
And kids already lead the way with that, because they have no prejudice, they have no prejudgment and prejudged ideas. So they will they see what they see, and they could be in front of some old ancient ruins, but they're happy playing their game down here. Or they meet someone and they don't mind if you speak which language or which religion or which culture you are. They just see a person and they'll just, we want them to be able to go up and shake hands, or know when it's appropriate to be dressed a certain way, or...
And I guess for us it's really, really important. We always try and instill in them to treat everybody as an equal. So the man on the side of the road who's emptying the rubbish bins is
the same respect, and
he's just as important as the man who drives the taxi, and the man who works in the bank, and the man who, all of those people, like everybody is exactly the same. So we teach them that we're all just
human beings.
We're all just human beings,
And so that's definitely become... That's become the best part. But as we go along, the best part of world schooling, I think, and the most it inspires us every day. But I'm sure it is the learning for all of us. I always debate, but I'm sure it is the learning that comes with travel that you get addicted to and makes us want to keep going.
Yeah.
The more you learn, the more sort of hungry you become for it. So it's not just the kids that are world schooling, it's all of us. And it makes us kind of wish we could do it forever.
Yeah. Okay, so next question about our channel.
About the YouTube channel.
About the channel.
We felt like this was the perfect time to address
Yeah.
why, like what we're showing on our channel, because especially being here, like arriving in Syria last week, we realised, oh man, we've seen so much, but a lot of it is a really deep level. There's two kind of sides of things, I think. Like some is like, there's like absolutely devastating destruction and things that...
Which we see the moment we walk out the door here. I mean, you see signs of what's happened here.
And it's not just the actual physical signs, like we see, like we drove past cities and towns the other day that are completely destroyed, completely levelled. But also then we see the people and how it's affected all the people. Talking to people, especially in the last few months in Iran, Iraq here, we heard, everywhere. Pakistan, Bangladesh, everywhere, we hear stories on a real personal level that, but they are really personal and moving stories. I always cry.
Sarah always cries. The camera always gets put away because it's not what we want to show.
But it's not what we want to show, and it's totally making me feel like that right now thinking about it. But those kind of stories are really personal and really moving, and for that reason, those are the things that we keep with us and carry with us.
Yep.
But so what we want to show, we want to be a family we want to be a family channel showing our travels, but from a family side. So we'd like to show it, I guess, and we show what the kids are seeing as well, and don't get into those. We feel like it's not it's not.
It's not our place.
Not our place to come over here and form an opinion on.
There's too many other people that do that, as it is.
Yeah, so we want to show.
We've kept that completely separate. We learn about it and we talk to these people. We always do it off camera
So
because
do
a
you
lot
think
of the
we're
time
going to
it
sort of
becomes quite emotional.
Especially being here, it's going to be like seeing Damascus and seeing the other cities that we've visited here in Syria through the eyes
just
of the
watching,
kids, kind of.
And absolutely seeing people as they try and sort of rebuild their lives and sort of create a new chapter for their country, trying to look past all that bad stuff that happened. And just try
from a visitor. We are just a visitor here.
That's right, and it's like tomorrow's just another day. Like they just keep going and keep going and keep going. It makes us feel very, very lucky to come. We've got nothing to complain about. In New Zealand, we have nothing to complain about.
A really good way of.
Yeah, I mean some of the, and they wake up and put a smile on their face every day
and welcome us. We're always welcomed.
Yeah, and some of the stories we've heard from people that we've met, taxi drivers, are just incredible. Like, I mean...
So that does totally inspire us.
Yeah, it does. It makes us realise just how incredibly lucky we are, to be able to hand over that New Zealand passport and basically receive a smile from the other end every time. So
that's what we're going to show from.
So that's what we like to show, and we don't like to deviate. We don't like to deviate from that.
Yeah.
As easy as it would be to delve into the darker side of these places.
Yeah, we hope that we show a brighter side and
we want to
show
show a
people
brighter
what
side.
we've seen and how we've been received when we're here.
People need to come back. People, these places deserve families like us to come and see, because they're absolutely stunning places to visit.
Mind-boggling.
Mind-boggling. I mean, we just, it just blows us away every day. Some of the things we see and some of the people we meet, it's just absolutely amazing. And if we can just convince just a handful of families to do exactly what we're doing, great.
That would make our day.
It would make our day. Yeah.
That would be awesome. All right, so shall we wrap up there and get ready to show everyone Syria?
Before we go, I think we've got a couple more questions.
Okay.
People always say to us, your kids are not going to remember any of this. What are you doing? Like, the kids are not, what a waste of money. We actually got told, what a waste of money, your kids aren't going to remember anything. Well, let me tell you, our kids remember so much of what we do. In fact, they remind us of stuff. I don't know whether that's showing our age or what, but they remind us of things.
But even if they can't remember those,
they always remember moments.
If they can't remember the specific sites or the history or dates or anything like that, but they will remember that we
and the time,
spent this time with them,
they'll
I think,
always
and
remember
that's-
that we took this time out in their lives to spend it as a family all together, and it should create some really
bonds,
good,
and hopefully
strong human beings.
Good human beings.
Yeah, because that is what the
feel-
world's lacking, is good, strong, honest leaders in this world. And I think if we can do that, we'll be very happy.
We'll be really happy. Hope that explains a bit more about
I hope it explains a bit more.
and that we feel really lucky and really grateful to do this.